I chose several books from first related to my story, my own story as a photographer. So I've started, it's a kind of a constellation from books that I've made me and books I've discovered later, between inspiration, fascination, and of course it was difficult because you have so many books I liked in your library, but I've chosen the ones that are the most important in my practice.
Right. And name?
From Lincoln, for example, that is the main photographer that gave me the desire to be a photographer, and as well the one I've discovered as a student that I'm still looking, like Thomas Demand or Sugimoto. And then I've chosen some books that are related kind of my practice, like the one Baghdad Suite from Andrew Phelps, or older one like Muybridge and Roman Signer.
Right. And this was like 6 books or
Six.
7.
Oh, the other one is Cloud Studies, related to the study about clouds, because it's very, very linked to my research while I was working on phenomenon.
Right. Wonderful. Now, library. Let's have a quick look.
Maybe I can start with a book of Lincoln called Occupied Territory. It's a book I've discovered while I was studying photography in the School of Photography in Arles. So I was like, kind of a student. I didn't know so much about photography. And one of my teachers just advised me to open this book. And it was a real shock for me because I appreciate it a lot. So this book is kind of always with me. Sometimes I forgot it. Sometimes I found it again on my not my library, but my okay, at home. And it's always a pleasure to look at it because I'm kind of fan about her work. Lynn Cohen's work is for me very. She does some pictures like me without empty people, and the emptiness is very present in her work. But because there is no people inside, that tell a lot about our society. So at the beginning of my practice, because I've started to take pictures a bit like her at the beginning, but after I've moved away. So for me, it's still a very important book because it's also the pictures she does are also in between documentary and installation. You never know if she has made these places or if it's real places. That's what I like, and it's full of humor as well.
Wonderful.
Maybe the next one, where is it? Of course, Thomas Demand. I like this artist very much, and it's the same case. I've discovered his work in Arles as well, but I'm still following what he's doing. And for me, it's a beautiful work, also empty of people, but in a different way, because I'm also very interested in my work in this kind of scale models, but in real, Thomas Demand is making pictures of scales model he do himself. But they look real. I take pictures of interiors that look sometimes like scale models, but we are kind of linked. And so this is a work I appreciate a lot. The next, maybe I would talk about in the same direction. Hiroshi Sugimoto, I think this way. Okay. Here it is. Yes, of course. Yes, Sugimoto was as well a photographer I've discovered a long time ago, and I was very impressed by his pictures. About also the title was a kind of influence, but not a real influence, but also something, like jump on my work as well, time exposed, because I always deal with the idea of to make an image on an image. Sometimes I show an image I do, but you can have another image of it, or I play with emptiness and fullness in some of my works. I was explaining that in the exhibition, like most of my pictures are enigmatic. So you can see as really empty, but as soon as you read the caption, it's full of information. And I was very impressed when I discovered the famous work of the theaters of Sugimoto, with the time exposed. I think the time the movies, or even the exposure, is the time of the movie itself. That's what it's in white. A long exposure. So yes, time exposed, fullness and emptiness, as in Thomas Demand or Lynn Cohen, are very, very close to my work.
Very well.
Maybe I can talk about, yes, Muybridge. Muybridge is in English? Muybridge. Because in my work, Phenomenon, there is a lot of sequences, like sometimes there is some triptych, some diptychs, I don't know, maybe there is a sequences of 5 or 6 images, like in the volcano series, eruption volcanic series. And so I really needed to go back to the beginning of photography, and also because it's a work linked to science as well. And so I knew the work, but I really wanted for this body of work, Phenomenon, to go back on it and to look at some images it does. A long time, and the camera he used. And so this work is also very important for me. It's not a discovery, it's not an inspiration, it's going with my practice. I was talking before about the beginning of Phenomenon, the project I did, and I'm showing here in Photohof. First, I was but it's always the case. In my work, I'm interested in stage places. And stage catastrophe was my first interest. So when I discovered this body of work of Andrew Phelps, Baghdad Suits, I was impressed because I think he did these pictures in America during the war in Iraq. And he took pictures of some places, some stage places for movies that reproduce some cities in Iraq, but it's fake. It's to train soldiers in order to go to Iraq. So I wanted to speak about this book as well. So because I moved to the catastrophe, to something more related to the Marvel with Phenomenon. I was accumulating a lot of documentations, research about natural phenomenon, and I knew also another books, but I like it a lot. It's called Cloud Studies, and it's a book I like it a lot because it's pictures about the clouds and different clouds in the sky. So for phenomenon, I've been doing that same kind of research. Pictures from the space, pictures of clouds, pictures of several kind of natural phenomenon, and as well because of the accumulation of all these images and the design graphic of this book. I really like it. Very different from my practice, but I'm not always interested in photo books only, but all kind of art are questioning myself. And Romain Signer is an artist I loved since a long time, and because I love it's not only I would say something very small. I'm not a theoretician, but what I like in his work for me is also the relation he have with elements, as small as we are, and sometimes sometimes he makes videos, but in front of a volcano, trying to make some small actions, but as a human being in front of something huge. And I love especially these two pictures. Because I think they are funny, and they are very smart. It's only two balloons, and when one is pulled out, okay, there is two balloons, so it's regular. So it's kind of a sculpture, and when one is pulled out, it just falls. So it's a very small thing, but that explains a lot about us, I think. So for me, it's a very poetic work and very powerful, even if it's only small thing and small actions.
Right. Wonderful. I guess that would be the...
I think it was the last one. I could have chosen more, but...
No, wonderful. Yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you.